Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be reviewing Ninja Succession and Ninja Awakening and comparing the two. Ninja Succession has recently gotten a pretty hefty nerf between a 23% damage reduction in a bunch of skills, as well as a accuracy drop in grab and hard aiming. Also, alert stance has been reduced in terms of how far it goes, which is pretty heavy, but it's just going to change the playstyle, so we'll see how it goes. Awakening has gotten a change in flows and certain attacks, so I'm going to be reviewing that as well. Alright, let's get right into it. Alright, so Ninja's alert stance has been nerfed, but it is still going to be pretty useful. It used to go from here to around over here, so it was a pretty far move and it gave us really good distance. However, Ninja was a bit overtuned, and now we go maybe a foot or two forwards, which feels like it's horrible, but it is still a positional move to follow up with, and it also has a frontal guard that you can move around like this. After your alert stance, you can follow up with other moves, so it's still going to be very useful to use. Okay, we are going to take a look at the two skill trees and compare between Ninja Succession and Ninja Awakening. In Succession, this is a skill tree that you're going to have. You have two moves that are going to be borrowed from Awakening, that's called Red Rain and Dark Frenzy. There are a few notable differences. For Red Rain, the only difference is going to be that there is burn damage on top of everything, which is the exact same as Awakening. Dark Frenzy, however, can be cancelled at the beginning and the end of its activation, so when you use it, you can cancel out of it, you aren't totally locked into place. Unlike Awakening, Ninja Succession doesn't have as many frontal guards. Alert Stance is a frontal guard, but you can't use it as frequently as Awakening's right mouse button. We only get one grab in Succession, Awakening will have two. Prime Shuriken is going to be able to have directional inputs. You can't move backwards with it, that's going to trigger a different move. You're able to combo out of it with either left mouse button or right mouse button. Left mouse button is going to take you forwards, and right mouse button is going to take you backwards. One of the main differences with Succession, any of its moves are going to have flows or combos that go after the skill's activation. So basically, if I use Shuriken Flight, I can hit left mouse button to continue. If I use Shuriken Malice, I can continue with something with alert stance, and then use another move afterwards. Another notable difference in terms of combos and flows is that Succession Ninja will be able to use Ankle Cutter and follow through with an AoE debuff. This is by no means going to be a guide for Succession or Awakening, this is more like a comparison of the two. If you're going to need a guide, I will link two guides in the description below. Overall, in terms of how you're going to make your decision, Succession will feel more like a quick, flowy assassin, while Awakening is going to feel like the edgy anime samurai that you may have wanted to always play as. Succession Ninja is still going to be very strong in PvP, its strongest suit is going to be in PvE. Awakening Ninja has a very good kit centered around PvP. Succession and Awakening both require many hours of practice and skill. It'll take you a lot of time to master, but it's definitely worth the effort and the time. So the 6-sword playstyle does have a few advantages that Succession does not have access to. So Awakening Ninja does have access to right mouse button cycling, frontal guard. So being able to cycle through this and have a constant frontal guard while you're fighting is very nice while you're either trying to stall or get some distance or even observe the situation. It's a very good thing that Awakening Ninja has over Succession. Now, a few changes that were made to Awakening Ninja very recently. You can now go from short sword to short katana mode when you're using sudden decapitations. What this means is, if I do S, right mouse button, it goes straight to katana. That's one switch. Well, that was very anime. However, when you C-swap, this also has a frontal guard, so this is very useful to use. I don't know how it's going to play out versus C-swap, but I guess we'll see. Another change is now we can combo Drastic Measure after Vacuum Slash or the second hit of sudden decapitation. So we're going to use Vacuum Slash, and it goes straight into Drastic Measure. Another flow is going to be sudden decapitation on the second hit. So this is flow execution right here. and this is Serpent Ascension. So we should be able to combo the two skills together. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. So the Execution and Serpent Ascension go right after each other. Other things that Awakening has over Succession is C-Swap, and this gives us a second frontal guard that is usable on a 1-second cooldown. So you can constantly keep yourself protected whenever you're in fights, whether you're swapping or whether you're just using your right mouse button to keep up a frontal guard, which is very nice to have. As well as Awakening has Silent Charge, so it has a way to suddenly burst in and suddenly jump back. So an advantage that Awakening has over Succession is that it has two grabs. There's the grab that you already have in your Succession, just your E, and it also has a grab in Awakening as well. So these two grabs are going to be on separate cooldowns. You can use them both right over here. Flash Bondage does have a slightly longer cooldown. Awakening is also going to have a Q block, which you can follow through with left mouse button. It's very nice to have two separate grabs on cooldown. So Awakening feels like it has a lot of protection, and it also has two different grabs. So if you miss a grab, you have another one that you can use to follow up with. Well, I hope this helped you in deciding between Succession and Awakening. If you have any comments, don't be shy to leave them in the comment section down below, or you can catch one of my streams, which I'll also link, and you can come and ask me questions over there. I'm also going to link two guides to Awakening and Succession, which I highly recommend that you watch. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and peace.